Yes, a very good evening to the viewers who are viewing us right now, wherever you are in the world. We are happy to welcome Zikomborero Manjengwa. We are streaming live from Czech Republic. He has got a lot which he's going to share with us. He's a Zimbabwean who is doing wonders in Czech Republic there. And he's a medical student. I cannot preempt what he's doing because it's going to be part of this show. Thank you so much, Zikomborero, to join. I had to nickname today's busy day to be a big Thursday. And I want you to feel relaxed. And just following an interview which I was having with one of our own again, someone who is doing well, like yourself. So without saying much, I just want you yourself to maybe introduce yourself to the people who are following us right now. And then we go straight to the business of the day. How are you, Mr. Zikomborero?
Yeah, feel free to call me Zico because I know my name is a bit long. And of course, you had a wonderful interview with Mabel. I was following, and I liked her, like the products that she have and the business ideas that she was sharing on marketing and everything. So I really enjoyed it. So I am Shukomboro Manjengwa, as you have said. And I think in the course of the interview, people are going to get to know more about what I do as we progress, since what I do is in a certain chronological order. So we can.
Great. Sorry if I interjected. Were you done?
Yes. I was done.
That's really great and awesome. Zico, you have got a very big CV which I'm having here. I had to download it. You are loaded, my brother. And I will try to break down because if I don't break down some of the activities which you are doing, I may end up skipping them. From Buhera, your primary school, I'm sure you attended Marume Primary School in Buhera. I'm sure the village again is called Marume Village.
That's correct.
You can make the followers understand some of the things which you did there. At one time, I was reading this article whereby there was part of herding cattle there, going to school, a village boy, something like that. I'm sure briefly before we go to your secondary there.
Okay, so my primary school, like you said, was Marume, and we had a typical rural life, where you have to go and head cattle, where you have to go and, you chase baboons because they were a menace, they were coming to the fields all the time, and as the boys, you're supposed to be going there. And besides those activities, we also used to do things like harvesting wild honey, and you get several stings along the way. And like every boy was growing, we used to play these football matches called money game. So those are some of the games which introduce you to money early in life. So we were playing all those games. We did fishing, and but the most important thing that I consider is very important in my early life was the fact that we lived in a homestead which we used to call Kwambuya Gondo, like it was grandmother Gondo, and a number of grandchildren. And our source of entertainment was usually reading novels at night. So we would exchange the novels. So when I was something like grade 5, grade 6. My brother and my sister were already in the secondary school, so they used to bring those set books, and we could read them. We could rotate, and that's how I started liking things like literature and school in general, because we used to read a lot around the fire. It was like a fireside book reading session.
Fast forward, done with your primary, you went to Mbare in Harare from Buyera. We just want you to sum up quickly from Mbare to UZ, and then we get the core business of today. From Mbare now, then University of Zimbabwe there. You can tell us something in brief there.
Okay, so Mbare was quite a very important part of my life. It's one of the high density suburbs and one of the most popular ghettos in Zimbabwe. However, something very important happened whilst I was still in Mbare. I went to a school called SDA Secondary School. It was an Adventist school, and whilst I was at school, that's where I met God. They used to have this week of prayers. It was like a crusade where they teach you about God and all these things, and you are in school. So my brother had a friend who was an Adventist. He was called Elias. And Elias used to try to convince my brother to become an SDA member. And my brother would come back home and tell me about the story. And then in that way, I ended up becoming an Adventist. Me and my brother were baptized on the same day into the church. So since then, church became a core part of my life, and things to do with religion and everything have always interested me. Growing through life, I've come to appreciate that, of course, I have my own religion, but I respect each and every other person's religion, be it a Muslim, a Hindu, or any kind of religion. I respect and I tolerate everyone, and I've worked with people from all religions through my life. But for me, that was an important anchor. Then you said you want to know how I had then to move from Mbare to the UZ. So my secondary school, like I said, I went to SDA first. Then after SDA, I had several, about 6 years that I call my academic wilderness, where I didn't consider myself to be in school. I tried several things, including going to night schools and everything. Those were the days when people were burning money and all those things. Then in 2007, around July, I decided to go back to school. And when I decided to go back to school in 2007, July, I didn't have a teacher or anyone. So I started studying at home, physics, chemistry, biology, and those subjects. Then when I passed my O-levels, I was actually operating a business. I was operating, it was a bakery that I was doing at home. It was very small, where I would be selling to vendors and all. So when I got a place for A-level, that's when I managed to pay my school fees. Then my brother had to support me so that I could finish my A-levels. And after my A-levels, the journey was smooth. In fact, during my A-levels, I had the privilege to join a program which was called USAC. It was run by the United States Embassy. So it was like I used to go to the United States Educational Advising Center about 2 to 3 times every week. Then I also had the privilege that we had this Day of the African Child, and one of the days I made a speech and I got access to the World Bank Library, where you know, in Chinamano, where I could go and study, but I preferred the Educational Advising Center better. That's where I learned about scholarships and about trying to approach life in a different way, you know, learning a bit of English here and there, a language which you don't speak at home. Then after I passed my A levels, I didn't go to the US as I expected. I then had to go to the University of Zimbabwe. Then at the University of Zimbabwe, I studied radiography. I met one of the best classes that I can ever have in my life, the radiography class of 2014. With amazing lecturers. Actually, for me to come to the Czech Republic, it was a result of a class assignment that we were doing at the University of Zimbabwe. So we had a class assignment. It was called Personal Management Portfolio, where you had to make a 10-year plan of your life. And so for me, I tried to be clever, to make a clever plan of my life. And this clever plan was, like I said, I want to start medicine, and I knew that it would take me 5 to 6 years. So already in my plan, I am covered. Then after that, to specialize, it would also take me 4 to 5 years, which amounted to something like 10 to 12 years. So because of that, I was like, so my plan is this simple. Then after that, I was told that, okay, now we need a financial plan for you to go forward with your plan, with your life plan, with your management portfolio. Then I said, wow, what do I do now? And I said, I will apply for scholarships. Okay, that's when the lecturer for management started sending me some links to apply for scholarships. And one of the days I applied for scholarship and I ended up being in the Czech Republic.
A long story, a long motivational and inspiring story. So fast forward 2014, September 2014 to June 2015, before you started your medical journey. 2014 September up to 2015 June, you then had to learn the Czech Republic language, I'm sure, which you are using as we speak in your studies for your medical program.
Yes.
Can you shed more light to us? What was the feeling? Are you able to speak the Czech Republic language fluently right now? And how did you manage when you finished that 2014 to 2015?
Okay. So what I can say about the 1 year which we were in language school, the language school is a Charles University Language School, which is located in a place called Marians Glasnie. So it was like being on an international school because there you had people from all over the world, from Asia, from the MENA region, from South America, from Africa. So you had people from all over the world. And it was sort of a culture shock because now you are beginning to learn other people's cultures. The way they worship, the way they do things, everything is different. And food itself was a shock when it came. When you go to the dining hall and you want to eat food and you can't eat the Czech food, the special kind of soup that they have, which was very hard for many of us to eat, not just me. Then when it comes to academics now, it was one of the most challenging periods because you have 8 to 10 months to master the language. Then you have to go and write entrance exams in the Czech language with people who were born as Czechs. Okay, so it means you have these 8 months to assimilate the language from saying a, e, I, o, u up to a stage where you can say I don't know, where you say some complicated sentences in Czech language. Okay, I can't say Dobry den because that one is not complicated. It's just a greeting, but they are really tough sentences that you can have in Czech. So this period was very tough because a lot had to be learned in a very short period of time. But I'm happy because we always said in the school that, you know, if you manage the language school, wherever you are going in life, you can always say, I can do anything. Because that, if you check, you can Google the Czech language and see how tough it is. It is one of the toughest languages in the world. So that was the language school. I succeeded. I did well. Then I managed to get accepted to 3 medical schools. Then I chose to study the first faculty of medicine, which is in Prague.
That's great, awesome. In fact, we also need to appreciate your resilience there. I will try to mix my questions here so that we cover the rest of the ground in quick time. You are chairman currently of AFCATON, a group of, is it 28 or something like that? It's academic, yes. Or it's, in brief, my brother, what are your duties? We are proud that you are chairman there. You are representing and raising our flag high. In quick and short, brief, what are your roles, your duties? In fact, your chairmanship there, what are you doing? Tell us in brief.
Okay, so my role as the chairperson of AFCATON, like you said, let me just tell you what AFCATON is. So AFCATON is a team of 28 entrepreneurs. In our team, we've got CEOs of companies, we've got professionals, including PhD holders. We have people who have done a variety of things in their lives. So me being chairman in itself is not actually because I am the best, but it is because AFCATON is a different way of thinking and a different way of doing things. Okay, so AFCATON is we can consider it is like a rising tide which carries up or which lifts up all the ships being the entrepreneurs. So my duty as a chairperson is to link with the investors and to help identify talents inside like our team. So if someone is good at something, those are the people that we push forward to do certain things. Then when it comes to investors and guest mentors, I can say that in the past week or 2 weeks, we have managed to bring some amazing people to AFCATON as guest mentors, including people like Adenike Ogunulesu, Bako Ambianda, and Abasiama Idaresit. Those people came to mentor us so that we can have a firm footing as we are trying to solve the COVID-19 challenges.
That is good work and well done. We appreciate what you are doing, my brother. I don't know, are we allowed now to call you a doctor or you need to graduate first? Sorry to just stretch you a bit before I can ask you, are we allowed to call you a doctor now?
No. In fact, in Czech Republic, they don't call you doctor, they call you mudri. So our title, which we get when we finish school, is not called DR or MBCHB. We get MUDR, which is a medicine universal doctor. So they call mudri or lekash. Those are the terms they use to call a doctor. And I hope one day I will, if I finish the race very well, I'll be called mudri someday.
You are involved into a lot of charity work, I'm sure, back home in Zimbabwe or in Africa. This COVID-19, I was checking again, there is issue to do with the Water Alliance NGO or something like that. I once interviewed the director of Water Alliance Hard Life, who is there in Zimbabwe. I'm sure maybe it's the same organization. So you are involved into some charity work, whilst you are also the chairman of AFCATON, and you have got your studies which you are doing right now. You have got a lot of things which you are doing. How are you managing? And at the same time, you can then list to us the charity work you are doing, how are you managing as the first question, and the organization which you are involved into these charity duties which you are doing.
Okay. So when it comes to how are you managing, okay, I can say one of the advantages of these lockdowns has been the ability to work remotely, so you can contribute from wherever you are in the world. And I encourage everyone to go ahead and try to do their work remotely. So how I manage, me in my life, I don't use time management. I use energy management instead of time management. So most of the time when you try to manage your time, you will be having a clock. You'll be racing you'll be racing against the clock. When you are racing against the clock, you are just trying to do something just because the time is going. Okay, but when it comes to me now, it's energy management. I choose where to focus and channel my energy. So they say if you want to eat a frog, if you are required to eat a frog every day, the thing that you would want to do is you have to eat the frog first thing in the morning, so that you can enjoy the rest of your day without thinking that I have to eat the frog. So I do the important tasks early in the morning. So I divide my day. I'm like, so which one are the most important tasks for me today? Okay, I list them A, B, C, D. A few tasks, 2 or 3, which are major. Okay, I do those tasks. As soon as those tasks are done, anything else that I want to do during the day then becomes okay. So I do energy management. I choose where I have to channel my energy. And because I'm involved in something that looks like entrepreneurship, if you read a book which is called 10% Entrepreneur, if you want to see if entrepreneurship works for you, you just go and you do it part-time, okay? Spend 10% of your energy on entrepreneurship, then 90% of your energy on what you are supposed to do. So in my case, it's school. So you spend most of your time in school, then you take 10%, you put on entrepreneurship, you take 10%, you put on other programs. That's how I manage. Then when it comes to the organizations that I have been involved in since the start of COVID, I can mention that I'm inspired by people like Mukoma Hard Life, Zingwa. He has been doing an amazing job with the Zimbabwe Community Water Alliance, trying to create COVID-19 free water points. He has been doing a lot of great work. So he inspired me. So when an opportunity came for me to contribute in some way, they approached us and they said, okay, so we need someone to do our videos. And I had met some guys who do videos and multimedia. So that was my first contribution. We did a video for Zimbabwe Community Water Alliance through my network. Then after that, I became involved in the resource mobilization because I saw how important the work they are doing is. So I encourage everyone to actually go and look for Zimbabwe Community Water Alliance and try to see how they can help. The second organization that I have been involved in is, of course, Kufema Zimbabwe. Kufema Zimbabwe is doing an open source ventilator project. And this project, caught my attention. I saw it on some, there's a group for coronavirus and what for Zimbabweans. I think it's directed by Dr. Chireka. I saw it there. Then I joined the team of volunteers. Then within a short period of time, because of your work ethic and the way you do things, I got involved with the social media team. And when it comes to social media marketing and all those other things, that's where we go and contribute. Then, of course, I have been going, as a medical student, there was a call from the Czech government for us to go and help in hospitals. So I also answered the call to volunteer in hospitals. So I went to the General Teaching Hospital in Prague, where we go and fight COVID-19 together with the others. So that's my other involvement. Then my main involvement, I consider it as Afkathon, where we are trying to create a continent-wide solutions for COVID-19. I think if there's time, I can say one or two things or about some of the projects that we do as Afkathon.
We can give you time. It will be beneficial to the people who are watching you right now, who might want to know more about the Water Alliance. I don't know, do you have, you wanted to say more about Water Alliance?
About Afkathon.
Okay.
Yes.
You can say it, you can summarize such that
okay.
Maybe there might be some other people who might want to ask questions, and we need also to accommodate them.
Okay, that's perfect. That's perfect. Okay, so with Afkathon, like I said, that we are coming up with the various solutions for COVID-19. I'll just mention three of the programs or three of the solutions, because we come up with a number of solutions. One of the solutions that we come up with is like the mask. We have what we call the AVV mask, the Africa versus virus mask. The AVV mask, why did we try to come up with the AVV mask? It was simple. We realized that when people are talking and they are wearing masks, most of them, like if you check, they tend to remove the masks, okay, so that they can talk to the microphone. And the microphone is exchanged, which is actually a risk of spreading COVID-19 through the microphone. I guess that might be one of the reasons why most of these delegates, diplomats, and other people were getting COVID-19 is because of use of the same microphones. Okay, so we came up with a mask, which is made of breathable material, which has got a purified air tank, so you can breathe freely and you can talk freely in the mask. And it has got several other innovations like electrostatic adhesion properties. It has got antimicrobial, antiviral properties. But let me hasten to say, people might start looking for it. The AVV mask, we are going to be manufacturing it and making it in Nigeria with the team, because our team, like I said, 28 entrepreneurs, 8 countries. So in Nigeria, that's where we are going to do the pilot project before we expand to the rest of the continent, including my very own Zimbabwe. That's the first one. The second solution that we have is a value chain, an agricultural value chain solution. We looked into what is called hydroponic farming. Hydroponic farming is where you take those plastic containers that you throw away, like like this one. So you can cut this container and start growing plants inside that thing, and it requires very minimal soil. Okay, that's hydroponic farming, and we actually found a way of making of preserving food for around 25 years, and we are trying to find a way of how to make it cheap and affordable to African families. And currently, as we are speaking, I actually took a break from a hackathon that is going on, which was organized by the Africa Innovation Week. And I'm happy to say that we are, the Hackathon team is one of the 60 teams that were accepted for that hackathon. We also did the MIT hackathon, which is Massachusetts Institute of Technology hackathon, in the Africa versus Virus hackathon. And in the current hackathon, we are actually trying to help places like Mbare Musika, like Onitsha market in Nigeria, and other big markets where people gather to see how they don't be, how we can ensure that they don't become COVID-19 hotspots, and to ensure that there's no the traders, the informal traders, are safe. So those are some of the solutions that the Hackathon team is coming with. That solution, it is called the lockdown best. So lockdown business and entrepreneurship survival toolkit. That's the lockdown best. That's the solution we're working on right now.
You are involved into a lot of things, my brother. Being a chairman of, you said Hackathon, you are in the charity work back home. You are also a last year or a fifth year student, medical student in Czech Republic. You are involved into a lot of leadership roles. In short, or in summary, before we close, what might be your word of advice as motivational? Some our youth who might wish to then copy from you, what can you say which can encourage them?
Okay, so what I can say to encourage the youths that are out there, I will encourage them to follow the principle of Ubuntu, which says the we is better than the I. So all these programs that I do is not because I do everything, but it is because I work in teams. And for me to be who I am, it's not because of me. Actually, I don't prefer to tell my own story. I prefer if someone would tell my story, but the nature of your interview has to make me say some of the things myself. But for me to be where I am, I have a number of people that I think should be thanked, like my brother, my parents, not only biological, but I have had many parents throughout life. I have brothers and sisters from all over the world. So these people, I thank them. So for me, I am because of all the people who are in support of whatever I will be doing. So I think if you remember where you come from, those who lifted you up, even when things were tough, and if you remember that whatever success you have is not your own success, it's community success, it's our success, it's never about me, it's always about us. So those are the words that I can give to others who are out there.
I was waiting for maybe your colleagues or those who are following us, maybe if they could be anyone who wants to maybe join in with the link. I checked all the comments. The comments were there. They are few. Your colleagues, maybe they will maybe check with you after we finish. But I just want to thank you so much, our chairman of Hackathon, Zico Mborero. You want to be called Zico in short. You are doing a wonderful job there in Czech Republic. You are also involved into a lot of charity work back home in Africa and the organizations which you are leading. You're also a fifth year student. I'm sure maybe this is your last year, if I'm not mistaken. And
It's not my last year.
You are finishing next year.
Yes, it will be early next year or late next year or early 2022.
Okay, but
Yes.
at the same time, I just want to thank you so much. I'm sure we have one last comment. There's a comment we just popped up there. Ruwimbo Jeffrey, good job you are doing with students Rico. I'm sure these are some of the people who are appreciating your work. May the good Lord bless you, Jikomborero. Some time to come, we might then call you and then just to have a feedback maybe before year end. And we hope you are going to have a good night. We are signing out now. It has been a pleasure hearing your story, your encouraging, motivational story. You are a leader, you're doing charity work, you're a student, you're leading there. Thank you so much. May the good Lord bless you. I'm sure we are signing out now.
Thank you so much. You have been a wonderful host. And shout out to all the AFCATHON team, the Academy of Young Diplomats, my school, First Faculty of Medicine, my community, Mbare, Buhera, and everyone, and our wonderful hosts, and the Zimbabwean community in the Czech Republic. I love you all.
Thank you.